So for a long time, positive psychology was focused on what is wrong with people for historical and situational reasons. But in the late 90s, Martin Seligman and team came up with positive psychology, which is the study of human flourishing. One of the things that helps human beings to flourish are character strengths. And what we have here today are character coaches manuals and the founder of positive psychology in Kenya, and Karibu Sana. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Kamal.
It's nice having you. Tell us a little bit about character coaching. There are 3 volumes here. There's a character coaching manual, one for, I can see another manual, and I want you to tell us more about it. So what is character coaching?
So positive psychology, as you introduced,
yes,
focuses on well-being.
Right.
And people, when they hear the word positive psychology, they think it's related to positive thinking of Vincent Peale. And but we want to assure that positive psychology is more than just thinking. It is doing. You need to build a set of practices that we call virtues,
right,
that is expressed in character, that will contribute to your well-being. So if positive psychology is talking about well-being, it has also talked about ingredients of well-being in terms of character strengths. And they are scientifically tested, interventions are developed, and the outcomes are tested.
Right, right. So what do you mean that they are scientifically tested? How do you do that?
Because we have empirical evidence.
Right.
So we can do an experiment between what we call a control group and an experiment group.
Right.
The control group is not given the intervention. Let us say gratitude journaling as an intervention. Gratitude is one of the character strengths within positive psychology.
Yeah.
So we can do an intervention with one group, which we call the intervention group, and another group we call control group, with which there is no intervention.
Yeah.
Then we can compare their well-being levels.
Yeah.
Beginning at the end, then we can show with the empirical evidence that character strength of gratitude directly contributes to well-being.
Right. So it's not just motivational speaking.
No.
And I think that's where you're saying it differs from positive thinking of Norman Vincent Peale, which is more humanistic, which I guess there's no empirical evidence. Yeah. And so positive psychology does that. It does. It tests its theories or hypotheses. Now, let's talk about the difference between life skills and character strengths, because there seems to be a movement away or building on, as it were. Why that movement?
First of all, if you take any serious manual on life skills, you will see a definition of life skills that is coming from the World Health Organization. Now, why the connection to World Health Organization and life skills?
Right.
Because the whole discourse around life skills and the money and the training programs that were pumped into us was in the context of HIV prevention since the 1990s and early 2000s. So once we had a sort of control over HIV spread, then there was a serious thinking, especially since 2008. 2008 in Europe, there was a credit crunch. Banks started collapsing in the US and in Europe.
Right.
And governments had to rescue the banks with the public fund. And so then what happened? Did the CEOs of these banks lack life skills? Or if you come to our African situation, do our politicians lack life skills in terms of communication skills, problem-solving skills, creativity skills, negotiation skills? They don't.
Right.
But what is missing is a moral core. So since 2008, the funding has shifted and focus has shifted in training, especially young people, from life skills to character strengths.
Right.
And meanwhile, we have a scientific backing from positive psychology that provides interventions and the theoretical framework for these character strengths.
Yes.
That's where we are.
So you have taken the practices. So positive psychology has taken the practices, the virtues as it were, has them tested, has included them in among 24 character strengths as it were.
Yeah.
You have added a 25th, or at least in the process of having that included as a 25th character strength of hospitality, right? Which is brilliant. And you're also the founder of positive psychology in Kenya, right? Yeah. And as part of that, you have started this character coaching now.
Exactly.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So this character coaching program that we launched in 2022, with the team of basically the board of Positive Psychology Association of Kenya, we developed 3 manuals based on theories and interventions from positive psychology. And we have trained over 250 character coaches in these 2 years with various programs. Now, there are some who have gone through the 3rd level, the 3rd phase. Now, these we call character coaches. And Positive Psychology Association of Kenya intends to certify them and accredit them as accredited character coaches who could be hired by schools or NGOs or church organizations to accompany groups of people, young people particularly, launching character clubs. So we want the character coaches to launch character clubs in their church context, in their school context, in any social context where they can meet people. So what we propose is let the character clubs have 5 to 25 people. You meet once a week, once a month, according to your convenience, and take them through these manuals. And these manuals, every session is informed by a Kolb's experiential learning cycle. It is not just talking. It takes them through an activity, reflection. Certain conceptualization in terms of the input and application.
Right.
So at the first level, we have the manuals. Second level, we have the character coaches. And the third level, we have the character clubs. So this is our theory of change in terms of the input and the output and the outcome. And we hope all this will make an impact in the society in terms of a transformation where everyone makes decision based on certain set of moral values. And these moral values are exhibited in practical aspects of daily life in terms of character strengths.
Right. Okay, this is so interesting, by the way. So now, someone can become a character coach. Now, let's first of all try to distinguish what is the difference between a mentor, if you don't mind me asking, a life coach, and a character coach. Like, are there differences, as it were, or are they similar?
They overlap. But the term coach seems to be more than just talking.
Right.
There is an accompaniment process. There is a proposal of certain skills and practices as a coach. And you're walking through a team. You're walking through a character club. And you're seeing that they are performing now.
Right.
And so now the content is character. Therefore, we call that character coach.
So these individuals, the character coaches, they are trained across the 25 character strengths, if you to include hospitality. And then there is a hope that they're integrating them in their person, first of all.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And then they go to set up character clubs of 25 at least members each.
Yeah.
And then hopefully, so what happens, so you say there are manuals. How many manuals are there now?
There are 3 manuals, and each of the manuals have a student handbook.
So which is the first manual?
So, for example, if you take this is a first manual.
Okay.
This is a manual for the coach.
Right.
And this is a parallel handbook for the participant in the character club.
Right.
So the coach will direct them to the page where they can do worksheets or do reflective activities and things like that, either as individuals or in groups.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the first manual.
Yeah.
And I'm imagining it covers some of the character strengths.
Yeah. Okay. So now just to clarify, positive psychology has 24 character strengths, but in terms of the manuals, we have broken them down to more practical character strengths.
Right.
So one character strength that is listed in the values in action of positive psychology could have 2-3 sessions in our manuals.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So the first manual with the student handbook.
Yeah.
There's another one here.
Second manual.
The second manual, again, broken
and
in
the third one.
And the third manual.
Yeah.
Okay. So just for those who might be watching, these are the 3 volumes.
3 volumes. Yeah.
Okay.
So these are the 3 volumes.
These are plus the student handbook.
Yeah, student handbook. And eventually we will develop a student handbook.
Right.
And then we have a folder that explains all the things in summary in case a potential client or we want to get into the KICD and to see if this can be integrated in the CBC curriculum. Yeah.
So who can become a character coach?
Anybody who has access to a group of people, who is passionate And we hope this person is a person of character,
Yeah.
men and women. So in our so far in our trainings, we have teachers, we have pastors, we have catechists.
Interesting.
We have social workers who are working in the NGO sector. We have mentors who are working in other spaces. We have even basketball coaches. So who can integrate all that to where they are functioning.
So as final question, as the founder of positive psychology and also as a priest, and how do you see, what is your long-term vision in character coaching, and how do you see the integration maybe between faith and character coaching and spirituality and all that?
Why I find this a very interesting space to operate in.
Right.
Okay, I've been working in this space for 15 years, beginning with my master's degree in the University of London and a PhD, full-time PhD. I came back to Nairobi for data collection and all that. Why I find it very interesting is what in the church we used to preach about in terms of virtue. Positive psychology offers a scientific, well thought out framework, theoretical framework, and a possibility to test it empirically. And my mindset is like, yes, I'm passionate about my own religious vocation and my religious pastoral duties and pastoral commitment, especially among young people. And I find I'm also a scientist. So I find there's a very good interspace between religion and science, especially from the psychology perspective of science, bringing together in the domain of character strengths.
It seems to me like religion gives the what and the why, and then positive psychology comes and gives the how. Interesting. Okay. I love that. Thank you so much for speaking to me today, Father Selvam. And thank you for launching Positive Psychology. So that has been Professor Selvam, who is the founder of Positive Psychology Association of Kenya.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Asante sana.
Karibu.